My name is Geoffrey. I'm part of our local outreach business team at GoDaddy, specifically GoDaddy Social, where we help local businesses, restaurants with their social media sites and also their review sites. Now you should see a piece of white paper that says an assessment on it. If you will, please fill that out at the end, or later today our booth will be doing a drawing for an Apple Watch or a Chromecast. So if you can fill that out, hand that back to me and I'll put you in that drawing as well. With whatever time we have left today, we're going to be going through some questions, so please say those to the end. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get kicked off. Today I'm going to be going over brand ambassadors in your restaurant, specifically talking more about marketing with your customers, influencer marketing. Now, how many of you already look to your customers to provide content for your local business already? Not many? Okay, a few, a couple. So you definitely want to make sure that you're cluing them in and you're making sure that you're actually using your customers as a valuable resource. They're talking about your business, they're leaving you great reviews, they're snapping photos of their drinks, their food before they even sit down at their table. So why not get engaged with them and ask them if you can borrow some of their content? It creates that brand awareness and also that brand engagement for your business as well. So today we're going to be going over 4 points. The first thing we're going to be going over is how to choose the social networks most effective to your campaign. Now we all know user-generated content is best on Instagram, but there's also Facebook, Twitter as well. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at the most profitable social media platform that's going to be best for your business. Next, we're going to be going over how to set specific user-generated content goals. Just like you come up with a business plan, just like you try to figure out what's going to be best for your business, your staff, you want to make sure you're setting goals for your social media as well. Set those expectations right out the gate. Third, we're going to be going over how to tell your audience what kind of content you want. If you don't ask for it, you are not going to receive the content. So you want to make sure that you're asking for it, you're getting engaged with your audience members, and it just shows that you have an authentic, personable side to your social media sites. You're not just a robot sitting back there responding back to reviews, posting content on your social media pages. And last but not least, we're going to be going over how to focus on the community aspect and collaborate. So if you're a restaurant, if you're a bar, you want to make sure you're also connecting with other restaurants and bars in your area as well. Maybe you're doing percentage night, maybe you're giving back to a charity. So don't just do all this work on your own. Get engaged with your customers, get engaged with your community, and just really making sure that most importantly, you're having fun with these social media sites. That's the big game of this, but also to make sure that you're being social, hence the word social media. So how to choose the social networks most effective to your campaign. So how many of us are already on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter right now? Okay, awesome. Now how many of us are actively posting, actively getting engaged with our audience members as well? Okay, a few, some, so. So one thing that you want to look here at this chart, and this is from Sprout Social, is the likelihood of sharing a good brand interaction on social media. So when I come into your business, I'm probably greeted by your front desk person, the cashier, a waiter, and they'll probably ask me how my day's going, will we like a booth or a table, do we want to be seated outside? So just like you had that great interaction as soon as I walk into your business, you want to make sure you're also giving that same interaction on your social media sites and also your review sites as well. So as you can see, 12.8% are unlikely, but 75% are going to be likely to share that experience and interact with your brand. So you want to make sure that you're taking every single opportunity that you have as a local business to make sure you're getting engaged on your social media sites, you're talking back with your customers in the comments, and you're just showing great customer service online, just like you would in person. So one of the first profiles we're going to be going over is Instagram. Now, how many of us are already on Instagram and we're actually active on Instagram? Okay, awesome, good. We're in a good starting place. So you definitely want to make sure that you're using user-generated content on your Instagram page in a couple of different ways. On the left-hand side, right here, as you can see, they have Eat Puesto, that's on Instagram, that's in their actual feed. Now over to the right is them actually using an Instagram story from one of their really good followers. So you want to make sure that you're not just putting user-generated content, you're not just sharing this great content in your actual feed, you're actually sharing this throughout your story as well. Now, if you've noticed, if you've been getting less attention in your actual feed on Instagram, that's because your users are more likely to be interested actually in your stories now. People spend about 40 to 45 minutes on Instagram story versus about 20 minutes in your actual content feed. So scrolling through, looking at photos. And I get this question a lot, and they're like, well, why stories over content, like in my actual feed? In your feed, or your story, it's not rehearsed. It's not staged. It's not polished. And in your Instagram story, you can talk about behind the scenes, how this queso is made, what makes your business so special. Maybe you're doing 5 questions with your boss, walking around as they do like a day in the life in their restaurant or their bar. Getting creative and making sure that you're showing that personable, authentic side to your business shines even more on your Instagram stories versus your actual content feed. So just like Instagram, you also want to make sure that you're sharing great photos and you're retweeting great things about your food, your drinks, your business, your customer service. And a great way, and I love this example from Valentina's Tex-Mex barbecue, is a beef rib from Valentina's. They give out the name, was to die for, simply delicious. It edged out the brisket taco and the spicy sausage, #Austin. So really make sure that you're leaning in on your customers. You're looking at what people are saying about your business, and you're retweeting these things about your great food, your great drinks. Don't just do all the work yourself. Make sure that you're going back and you're looking at what your customers are actually saying about your business. It's a chance for you as a business owner, a marketing director, to get engaged with your audience, make them feel more comfortable with your page, but also make them feel more comfortable when they walk into your business as well. And Facebook. So Facebook is somewhat a little bit challenging when you're trying to figure out how to regram, how to repost, how to share great user-generated content. So an easy way to do this is actually just to share. You first want to make sure that your customers are making this public and that you can actually share this post yourself. So this is just a great example from Terrapin Beer Company, safety first. They have the beer strapped in, ready to go probably for a great weekend. And as you can see, they actually shared this. Now, if you look, you have, I think, 94 likes and love on this actual post. And that's great. That's a vanity metric. We're not always striving to get 100 likes, 200 likes, 300 likes. At the end of the day, they're just likes. What we're really looking for as marketing, as a business, as a local business and a brand on social media, you're really looking to get more engagement in your comments and your shares. Because when people start commenting on your posts, that's a chance for you as a business to jump in there, start having a conversation, and start talking back with your customers. More importantly, this got 2 shares. So 2 shares actually on this post actually put this in front of 200 more people than what it set out to originally do. So always make sure you're posting high quality, engaging content, you're sharing from your customers, and you're opening that door for you to get engaged with them online as well. So you want to set specific goals for user-generated content. How many of us already use user-generated content from our audience? You? Okay, a couple, a few. Awesome. What's been a big challenge that you've been seeing when you're trying to get user-generated content from your customers? Not enough photos? Bad photos? Okay. Anybody else? Quality? Okay. So you want to make sure that you're asking them for these photos. How many of you already use a branded hashtag, a localized hashtag for your business? Okay. Is it already in your profile of your Instagram? Do people know about it in your About section on your Facebook? Is it in your profile on your Twitter page? You have to make sure they know when and how to share user-generated content. And also you as a business, you want to make sure that you're saying, hey, this is kind of the content that we want. And you can give them an example. It's not you being mean, but nobody wants to reshare a blurry photo of some food that they're like, what is this? And you're like, I don't know, I can't explain this. So you definitely want to make sure that you're asking for the right photos, you're creating that engagement online. More importantly, you're creating that space for them to leave that content for you and a great way for you to share it as well. So you want to make sure that you're setting 5 goals for your business to increase your user-generated content. Number 1, higher brand engagement. When somebody shares a photo, let's say a taco shop shares a photo from a person that just came in for happy hour, those consumers, those people that are looking at this content, they're more likely to be engaged with this because it's coming from a friend. It's coming from somebody that already went to the business, they already checked it out, they already had a great margarita, an amazing happy hour with their friends. So why would we not trust this content? So this is gonna build higher brand engagement. Next, it's gonna help you have increased conversion rates. So when you think about setting goals, we all wanna make more money. We all wanna have more people walk through our doors, spend money at our business. Now, as this can be a lofty goal, I would probably set this as number 5, but definitely want to make sure that you're seeing more people walk in and more money coming into your pocket by you using user-generated content. Because who's better to talk about your product than your actual customers? Yeah, you can talk about it, you can brag about it all day long, but that's very one-sided. When you go out on a date and you pick them up, you ask them how they're doing, and you ask them all these questions, and they just tend to talk about themselves and everything they've been going on, it's not gonna be a second date probably for you. So you definitely wanna make sure that you're using your social media sites to have that two-way conversation, to have that two-way street for you and your customers as well. Next, you're building brand trust. So we want everyone to trust our business. We want everyone to come in. By using user-generated content, you're gonna instill that brand trust from your users. Fourth, you're educating more users about your product, about your services, and what you do. Now, whenever I go into a restaurant, I'm usually the person that's standing over my food, taking photos, or taking photos of a spicy margarita that I might have had the night before. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at those customers, you're seeing who's standing over the table, they're trying to get those perfect photos, and make sure, hey, if you want to go up to them, go up and talk to them right as they're taking that photo. Don't be afraid, and ask them, hey, do you mind if we share some of the photos that you've just taken on our social media sites? Do it right there in person. Do not be afraid. They're gonna probably be so excited. They're probably, yes, take all my photos. You can share them all. So make sure that you're getting engaged with your audience and make sure you're even doing that in person. And last but not least, this is a big one for business owners, saving time on content creation. How many of us want to sit behind a computer all day, create content, add hashtags, make sure it's on the right calendar, make sure this post is going out? Nobody wants to do that anymore. So this is why user-generated content, you finding brand ambassadors for your local business is really important. So making sure you're outlining these goals for your business, and especially for user-generated content, in order for you to increase that traffic to your social media sites and increase that traffic through your door as well. So you want to make sure that you have a content strategy. One of the first things I like to talk about is user-generated content, of course. And this is an example from Tiny Lou's. They're actually in Atlanta, Georgia. And Tiny Lou said, something poetic from our beloved, and they give out the name of the person that actually took the photo. Now think about this. It's a simple photo. It's easy. And it's just a reflection from their door. But you want to make sure that you're sharing these types of posts. You want to make sure you're increasing that engagement and sharing stuff from your customers as well. It's just going to overall make everyone feel a little bit better and make sure they have the space to show this off as well. Now, another thing with user-generated content, I know I mentioned this just a second ago, is you want to make sure that you're reposting from a story to another story. So if you already see that this is, you're tagged in this photo or you're tagged in this story, you're able to repost from a story to another story. You usually should get a direct message or a DM saying, this person just tagged you in this photo or in this story. You have the option of just adding it. It's just a simple finger click, boom, it's done. You maybe can add a little graphic like they did, or you can even add a heart at the very top as well. Or you can add a little GIF. Make it fun, make it entertaining, but don't you sit there behind your computer all day while you're trying to get other work done and try to come up with content. This is why you want to rely on your customers, your advocates, people that are talking great things about your business. So work in content. It doesn't have to be user-generated content, but in order for you to start getting that engagement, that type of brand awareness, maybe ask questions. If you're coming up with your content strategy, you don't have anything to think about or you don't know what to do. So how do you like your coffee? Espresso, hashtag Junes all day. I'm more of a cold brew person. I do not like cream, but this is a great way for people to start responding back. Break It Down ATX said, with extra love. Fresh Frank said, Franks all day. So making sure that you're giving out a great photo, you're asking a question to go along with this, just making sure that your caption, your photo, and your hashtags are all relevant as well when you're trying to think of a great content strategy. Now, how many of us actually show off our team? We do a spotlight, maybe it's their birthday, we have employee of the week, employee of the month. Awesome, that's great. But one thing you also want to focus on is doing this on a regular, weekly basis, maybe once a month, maybe every 2 weeks. But you want to make sure that you're shining a spotlight on your team. Now, I know at GoDaddy, we actually do GoDaddy Life. I think it's on Tuesdays or Wednesdays where they actually feature an employee. They take them through the day in the life, whether they're working at a trade show like this, or they're in my role where they're actually doing live speaking events or webinars like right now. So you want to make sure that you're showing off your team. It's going to make them feel more comfortable. As soon as they walk in the door, they know exactly who Nick Randolph is when they walk into Clark Standard in Athens, Georgia. So you definitely want to make sure you're showing off your team, you're letting people know what their favorite dishes, what their favorite drinks are, if you're in a college town, what their major is, what their favorite go-to spots are, maybe when family or parents come into town. So make it unique, make it personable, make it authentic for your audience. So cross-promotional posts. How many of us already cross-promote for our business? Okay, a few, some. Got some head shaking. So this is a great way to make sure that you're putting your content, your great things that you're doing in-house across your social media sites. Just because everyone's not going to come across your Yelp and your Google page at first. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to look up this person's reviews and just look for the worst ones I can find or the best ones I can find. So make sure that you're spreading that love, that authenticity, the great things that you're doing in-house across all your social media sites. And I like how Maypole actually set this up. This girl was saying she's going to miss them next year because she's graduating. And they responded back by reposting in a story saying, we'll miss you too. So this just shows that it's great food, it's a great establishment in the local area, and they also want to make sure they're just sharing this post online, just like they would share that great feedback in their restaurant or bar as well. How many of us run contests, giveaways, sweepstakes on social media? Not a lot, okay. So one way that you can make sure that you're having a great content strategy, you're making it a little bit more outstanding, is actually hosting contests. It doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be insane, and you don't want to make it too complicated for your customers to actually enter in the contest as well. So some easy things, just like the example with Maypole did, they said it's another time for another fun sweepstakes. Comment and tag a friend below for a chance to win a piece of Maypole merch. So this is just one of the easiest ways for you to actually do a contest, is have a person follow your page, tag a couple of friends. Every friend is worth an entry. Just a simple, easy way, doesn't have to be too complicated, doesn't have to be that hard, and it sets yourself up for success in two ways. It gets your current customers talking about your business. It also gets people that may have never eaten at your business or drink at your bar starting to look at your business page as well. So make sure that when you're running contests, you're probably doing something like this if you want to bump up your customer count on your social media sites or drive more traffic to your social media pages as well. And next, you want to make sure that you're showing off products and services. You want to also make sure that you're showing off your indoor and outdoor spaces. Now you're probably thinking, why don't they have people? Why is this not filled up? Just because a place isn't filled up doesn't mean it's not exciting and it's engaging for them. They really truly wanted to show off their space and how many people can actually possibly fit in here. What kind of things that you could be doing in here. Maybe you're having a birthday happy hour. Maybe you're celebrating an engagement party. Maybe you're celebrating a quiet anniversary dinner. But all these different things that you can see from this bar in East Austin Hotel gives off the impression of what you could actually be doing, shows off different events that you could also host as well. Now with that, you want to also make sure that you're showing off your products and your services in a totally different way. So don't just say, yes, we have happy hour as a status update. Show that in your Instagram stories. Show that in your Instagram feed with great photos of your drinks, amazing photos of your appetizers that you might have for happy hour. Making sure that you're not doing the same thing over and over again, and making sure that you're showing off great photos of your business, the things that you do, and the services that you might provide as well. So you want to make sure that your business page, it has a personality. So I saw one where it was for a salon, it was like, Alexa, wash my hair, or Alexa, order me some bullet rye. But I like this example from the Ivy Buckhead. They said, I swear it was Friday like 5 minutes ago. Now as we're kicking off the week, this is just another great way of making sure that you're adding a little bit of personality to your page. You're giving them a little chuckle. More importantly, they don't see that your content is just about the things that you offer, the services, your happy hour, your events. And there's also breaking content for a little bit of hilarity as well. And you want to be able to create resources. If you're a restaurant and you serve cheese plates, charcuterie boards, make sure that you might have a wine and cheese pairing just like they did with a brew and queue. So make sure that you get creative of how you engage, you educate your audience members. Because if I'm going to cook out or I'm going to grill out, I want to know what right beer to pair with my meat. I might want to know the right wine to pair with my cheese, so on and so forth. So really make sure that you're creating resources, educational resources for your current and future audience members to make sure this also is a place where they can come and get educated on your social media sites as well. Because it's not all about pretty pictures and events, it's also about some education. So you want to tell your audience what content you want. So I know I was talking about this a little bit earlier when I said, do you have your hashtag in your bio profile on your Instagram page? A really great way to make sure that you're doing this is just like Clark Standard did. It said, great bar, great food, hashtag Clark Standard, hashtag Clarks. And this is their business hashtags. These are their branded hashtags. Now you have your branded hashtags, which are hashtags like these. And you also have your local hashtags where you'll see like ATX Eats, ATL Eats, Houston Eats. Those are your local hashtags that in your community, your local people actually are using. Now your branded hashtags have something to do with your business, maybe something special, maybe a saying that you usually say around your customers. So really make sure that when you're starting out with hashtags, you're not overcomplicating things. You're making this as easy as possible for your customers and easy for a way for them to actually use it and for you to actually benefit from this as well. So just like in this example with Bar Mercado ATL, they actually have a couple. They have hashtag Bar Mercado ATL, hashtag Eat Drink CHG. So you want to make sure that when you are trying to get people to give you content as user-generated content, give them an easy place and an easy way to do so. That's optimizing your Instagram profile, Facebook, Twitter profile, but actually putting these hashtags in your bio. Make sure they know where they are. Make sure they know how to get engaged with you, and also a great way for you to tag a post as well. So you can actually look at your tag post right here. So I'm gonna go back a slide. So if you're looking at this little grid right here, and it's gonna be on the left that's kind of highlighted, it's a little bit darker. If you click on that next one right over there, that's where you're gonna find most of your posts that you're tagged in as a business. So if you wanna see the posts that you're tagged in, you wanna know what your customers are saying about you, your future customers maybe, this is a great place to go on your Instagram page to find out how you can actually get that user-generated content and a better place for you to utilize it as well. So really make sure that you're using your hashtags, you're creating that community online just like you are in person. And another great thing that I've seen is I was actually in a restaurant, what was it? Not yesterday, a couple of days ago actually, and I was looking down, never really try to look down when I'm doing things, and there was a hashtag right here. It was a restaurant hashtag as you walk in their door. And it says like eat, love, drink, and then it has like their actual restaurant name at the end. Something simple, a little bit cheesy, a little bit corny, but it stopped me in my tracks and I was like, wait a minute. Took a picture. They did not ask her to use it. I guess it was not a great picture. But you definitely want to make sure that you're not just waiting on social media. You might have it on your menu if you have just a happy hour menu. You might put it on the floor. You might put it in the bathroom mirrors as well. I've seen that being done. So really make sure you get creative with it. Make sure that your audience members are tuning in to your hashtags and to your online presence. So since we're in Houston, just wanted to do this one as well. This is gonna be more of a localized hashtag that you can also use. So if you're a restaurant in Houston, you can also use hashtag Eat Houston or Eat Austin, ATX Eats, Houston Eats. So really make sure that you know the difference between your localized hashtags and your branded hashtags. You're gonna make a big difference when you're trying to get more engagement from your audience members as well. And this is just another example of actually using a branded hashtag for a restaurant, Perla's Austin. As you can see, you're gonna see a bunch of oysters, a bunch of people taking pictures in sunglasses with their rosé probably. So definitely make sure that you're not just getting the same pictures that you tend to see being tagged in. Get a little bit creative. Make sure that you're getting shots from people that are taking them in different angles, right on, maybe from above. Think outside the box, and also make sure that you know how to ask for this user-generated content. But I think the biggest thing and the best advice I can give you when you're trying to get more content from your users is making sure you're using your hashtags consistently, and also make sure that you have a place where they know what hashtags to be using for you to tag their photos in as well. And just another popular one. So that way you can mix in your hashtags. You're localizing your branded hashtags, just like this one with Taco Tuesday, a really well-known one, but also mix that in with the branded hashtag as well. So our last step for today is focus on the community aspect and collaborate. So I know we saw this one just a little bit earlier, but this is from Gloria's Cuisine. And this is just taking another look at your user-generated content right here. And this is an example. So you don't have to pay someone to post content about your business. You don't want them to lie about if they like your tacos or your nachos or your margaritas. You want to make sure it's authentic. You want to make sure it's real. So an easy way to do that is just like in this, is they can come in, they can have a couple of drinks. You can also do an event just for influencers or bloggers or your top Yelp reviewers or Google reviewers, making sure they have an inside scoop on things and making it a little event for them as well. So this is just another great way to make sure that you're giving that, that credit to the actual photographer by using that emoji, the camera emoji, by also tagging them in that post as well. So how do we get user-generated content? How do we ask for it? This is an example from the Edwin Hotel. And they said, we love this photo, maybe repost with photo credits. Always ask. Never take without asking. This is not your content. This is not your photo. It can be taken on your property, it can be taken at your restaurant, your bar. That doesn't mean it's your property. If they've taken the actual photo, it's with them, then yes, let them keep that photo. But this is just an easy way, and they're probably gonna say yes. They're probably gonna message you, when are you gonna post this photo, so I can let all my friends know as well. So just definitely make sure that you're asking in the comments, or as everyone says, you're sliding into their DMs, and you're asking them if we can borrow this photo. And this is just another example of reposting from a story to another story. Like I said earlier, you'll get a DM about it. It'll have a little button at the bottom, click here to add to your story. Boom, you click it, it's added to your story, and you're done. You can go on about your business. You can go have your own margarita if you want to, because you don't have to worry about content creation. So definitely make sure that you're watching your stories. You're also watching your DMs to see what you've been tagged in. And also, if you're not friends with that person, that would probably be a lot of us when our customers are tagging us in photos. You'll usually get a DM, but you probably won't see it. So you'll have to like look at your other messages, and it'll have like a little department where you can actually click in there and actually see who's messaged you and whatnot as well. And that is all for brand ambassadors and user-generated content for today. So now I'm going to turn it over to all of y'all if you have any questions. Also, please fill out that white sheet of paper as well for a drawing. If you don't have one near you, raise your hand and I will come bring you one as well. If you're a B2B business, so my expertise is coming from like your B2C, your business to customer. I would say probably the best platform for you to probably use is going to be your Facebook, Twitter, or your LinkedIn. But that way you're just going to have to write out, ask for the photo. Be like, hey, do you have any great photos of our product, our services, of what we've done, or how it's helping your customers? Please let us know, send us an email, and we'll come with the caption, just let us know who actually took the photo and where it came from, and then have them ask if they can actually use that photo as well with that customer's permission. Yeah. So there's really no way for you to honestly do that, just plain out simple. But remember how I was saying, like in your DMs, that little mail arrow thing that's up in your right-hand corner? There's gonna be a place where it'll be like, I think all unread, or I forget how it actually says, because I haven't had a message like that in a minute, where if you're not friends with that person, it won't show up. But there's a box that's usually under there where it's saying you have like one request message or something like that. So it's just having to check that, and just maybe you're setting a timer or an alarm like throughout the day, just be like, I need to check my DMs, and also make sure I check that other mailbox to make sure I don't have any other requests as well. Mm-hmm. 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 So she asked about if instead of her going in and asking permission, she uses a repost app and it puts a little photo of the person, also gives out their username as well. Um, I say yes, go back and ask them because number one, you get to talk to that customer. Number two, it builds that overall brand and customer engagement. And whether you do that in a DM or publicly in the comments, it just shows your future customers that you're a real person and you're not a robot behind your social media pages as well. I mean, no, but people could always say, please don't use that photo. Please take it down right now. And then there you are having to take down a photo that you just posted and it's probably been up there for maybe like a day or two. And like, where did that photo go? Well, I didn't ask. I didn't have permission. Gotta take that photo down. So I just use it as a rule of thumb and I tell everyone to do that as well, just to always ask for permission. Mm-hmm. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No? All right, well, don't forget to fill out that white piece of paper if I can talk today. Also, thank you all for coming to this session as well.